Hello. Happy Friday.
It's episode 8 already.
What?
It's episode 8 already.
Yes, it is. It is. Time flies. Time flies, and it flies especially fast when your days are filled with exciting work.
I remember when we went to season 2, like it felt like it was yesterday.
Oh, we're already at episode 8, man. I mean, it's
I know.
crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen in the season finale this season.
Yeah, the time just goes by.
It literally flies.
Yeah,
It's,
it is not a cliche. It's
lucid.
Yeah. So it is Memorial Day weekend, and I do want to shout out and say thank you to all the service personnel, and especially to all the families who have lost someone in service. So, I mean, I know it's fun. We have barbecues and all that, but we also need to remember the sacrifice people made. So, thank you for that, Dad Bod veteran. Yeah, shout out to you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your service. All right, so I am seeing a pattern here. I come on Friday and I've hustled through like the last 30 minutes to 45 minutes getting ready, putting everything together. Before I used to get ready the night before, and be all but now the pace of change is so fast, and the things we are developing is so fast. It's I'm lucky to have enough time to get ready for it. So
old slide decks were like 50 slides. They were insane.
Yeah. But I actually like it better to show work product than to show slides.
Sure.
Honestly, for me, when I speak at conferences and all that, I try and minimize the number of slides, because people slides are boring. You want to see things in action, etc. And so I like to focus on those things. And we have a lot to show today, so we're going to go through a lot of those things and give people a lot to think about and a lot to get excited about. Yes, hit that. Let's go. All right. Yeah. So
all my fellow veterans.
Yes.
It's a big weekend in Detroit every weekend. It's a movement music festival. It's like the birthplace of techno music. So the city is going to be crazy this weekend, and it's just like a big Memorial Day tradition for everyone who lives on this side.
Yeah. I remember when I used to live in DC, they had this whole motorcycle sort of parade where people came from like all over the country. It was like thousands of motorcycles, and it was loud, and it was amazing. They had a name for it. I forget what it was. Thunder something. Someone will probably tell me in the comments. But it was just amazing to see, that kind of homage to the veterans and to the folks who gave their lives. So yeah, very cool. But Arnold is saying thank you all bot developers. Why is that? I wonder. Well, we'll find out, I guess. Yeah, so I am going to demo a lot of things today, and I'm excited to do that. Oh, Rolling Thunder, that's it. Thunder. I knew it was Thunder. Rolling Thunder. You're right. That was amazing. Yeah. All right. So I think we can get going here, and I can. I'm gonna get my computer ready here. It's almost there, and let's get going. I need to start by adding my thing onto the stage. All right, here we go, folks. We are back again with another episode of Vitruvio Download. This is season 3, episode 8. It is May 24th, 2024. I'm Nick Kalyani, a founder and CEO. And in this download, what we do is we review the events of the past week and what is coming up in the week ahead. Really excited to see you here. There's a lot of exciting things coming up, and I can't wait to share all of those with you. So let's get going. I'm going to start with the protocol. So we have a protocol team, that a validator team that is just going crazy. They are continuing to add validators, and now we are at 218 validators. So really, really excited about this. We are getting as decentralized as we can be. The more we add, the more decentralized we get. So speaking of that, what we want to do is get even more decentralized, because there are still some points that we feel can be central points of failure. So we want to eliminate that. So one of those is our boot nodes. We just have a couple of boot nodes. And what we want to do is, now that we have 218 validators, and with a lot of them having really stable environments, we want to extend our boot nodes and make them available from this set of validators. So that's happening. We also want to have alternate RPC nodes, alternate Explorer nodes, and happy to have conversations with any organizations that host validators, etc., who would be interested in running RPC nodes and Explorer nodes for us as a paid service for the community. So that is happening, and I'm really, really excited and really grateful to the validator team for their continued persistence in making sure this happens. Every time we add more validators, there is a greater the bar goes higher for signatures, right? Because you need 51% of the existing ones to sign. So it is I'm sure time consuming, but we have a crack team working on it, and I'm grateful for their service. Thank you so much. All right, now let's get on to talk about tokens. So there are several tokens we want to talk about. So the first one is USDC. So as I mentioned, the past couple of downloads, everything is verified and is approved by Circle. So the official token name on our Vitruvio blockchain will be USDC.pol. I guess we can call it USDC Pol. Because that is the suffix given based upon the other end of the network, of the bridge network, which is Polygon. So this represents that this is USDC Polygon on here. So the deployment testing has been completed and fully verified. And what we are going to do is we want to expedite getting this launched. And last week I showed you how this was integrated in the DEX. We want to do that too, but we want to get this up sooner than that. So what we're going to do is have a standalone page at bridge.vitruvio.xyz, where you are able to go and swap USDC Polygon and USDC Pol, and we expect to have that up in the next few days. Now, as soon as that's up and running, we will have the Vortex launched also, because Vortex does depend on that bridge being live. So what we're going to do now is I want to show you sort of a demo of this. Give me one moment and I will get that set up and we can go into it. All right, let's see, where am I? Give me a moment, please. Just there. Okay. All right, I'm all set up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the behind the scenes, kind of without a UI, the process of moving USDC from Polygon on to Vitruvio. All right. So here I have my Vitruvio account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this account on Polygon. So let's go. Where is it? There it is. Polygon. So what I have here is a little under 8 Matic, which is the native currency there, and I have 90 USDC. So in order to transfer some of this USDC into my Vitruvio wallet, what I want to do is I want to use the bridge to do it. So how do I know what the bridge address is, etc.? Well, it's in this deck, and you'll be able to download that deck. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go hit the contract that ViaLabs, formerly CryptoLink. So CryptoLink just rebranded to ViaLabs. So that's what that is. All right. So here is that contract. So this contract is where we actually go and do the bridging. So what you do is, just like in any other Explorer, you go to write contract. And what you'll see is the very first feature there is bridge. So if you expand, it says to and the amount. So what I need to do is I need to connect first to my wallet. So I'm going to connect, and I'm connected. All right. And so what do I want to do? I want to bridge to myself a certain amount. So I'm going to go copy my address here, and here's one. I'm going to paste that in here, and I want to bridge the amount. So let's say I want to bridge $10, right? So the first thing to remember is I'm doing this behind the scenes. Usually a UI will take care of whatever I'm about to do right now. But what I need to do is to get the decimal points right. And I know that USDC uses 6 decimal points. So I'm going to choose 10 raised to 6 here and add that in. And I'm going to replace the 1 with a 10 because I want to do $10. All right. So you don't have to do any of this because the UI kind of takes care of it all for you. So hit right. And this is going to prompt MetaMask up there, which you don't see. Let me see if I can. Well, I guess I can. I have the MetaMask dialog here, but because I'm not sharing my entire screen, it's not showing you the dialog. Let me see if I can close it here and go here and bring it up. That doesn't do it either. I do need to show you that dialog. So let me try another way. I'm going to stop screen sharing and do it again. Share screen, and let's say entire screen. There you go. So we are back now. I'm going to rerun this transaction, and this time you should be able to see MetaMask. There we go. Great. All right, and see it's saying I'm going to send 10 USDC. That's what it says there, and it's going to charge me a very tiny amount of Matic because that's the gas fee on Matic, and I hit confirm. All right. So now what's going to happen is if we look on Vitruvio, on the Explorer, we'll see that there should be a transaction that comes in here. So I might have to hit reload for that. So I initiated this on Polygon, and actually I should also look on Polygon and make sure that the transaction is completed. Yeah, it's confirmed. Okay, so that's confirmed. Here's the transaction on Polygon, and now we go to Vitruvio and we wait for that. There we go. It came in. So this is the bridge transaction of the funds coming over. So the easiest thing to do is to look in the wallet on Vitruvio and see that the token is there. Now, right now I'm on Polygon mainnet. Let me switch to Vitruvio. And now you can see that I'm on the same account, but I don't have the tokens visible yet. So I'm going to say import tokens and ask for a contract address. So I want to put in there the USDC Pol contract address, which is this one. Let me go here, copy this. Whoops. Not doing a very good job of that. Okay, let me just do it from here. A lot easier to copy using this feature. Okay, so you paste that contract address, and you can see it detects it immediately as USDC.pol. Hit that and import, and there we go. You can see that I have 19.5 USDC.pol. So what happened? What exactly happened with this transaction? I want to show you what the funding state was. So we'll go and dive into this transaction a little bit. And you can see that there's actually 2 transactions happening here. There is one where the funds are arriving, and then there are, instead of 10, which is what I sent, there's 9.75. So this is the 25-cent Biolabs bridge fee that is charged in both directions. So whether you send from Polygon to Vitruvio or Vitruvio to Polygon, you have that. So if any of you want to try that, you can follow this same procedure and try it, but we're going to have the UI page for you up and running and have that. So it's all fully tested. It is working. And I'm very pleased to report that we now have a working stablecoin on Vitruvio. So that's that. And again, this DAOload deck is available for you. So all the contract addresses, etc., are available. All right, let's move on and talk about our next thing, which is the future of Vitro. So as you know, we've wrestled with Mexi on this, and the issue of Vitro continuing to be listed on there is there. So we continue to converse with them, and one of the challenges we've run into is that they are basing their decision based on the network state from 2 months ago, when we were just scaling up. We had 2 nodes and we didn't have enough validators, etc. And they had a node that was not connecting to our boot node for whatever reason. So since then, as you saw, we have 218 validators. The network is super stable, but we continue to have them look at the prior state. And so we'll continue the conversation with them, but we are resolved that that's probably not going to go much further. So what we are doing is, and the reason I kind of focused on USDC poll is that we want to expedite that. We now finished our testing, and the implementation is underway. Next week, you're going to have the bridge page live and be able to do this. So we will also introduce USDC poll and Vitro pair on the DEX next week. So that way trading can resume, and it'll be fully decentralized. So for now, while we mull over the correct strategy to implement long term, this is the short term solution. So Vitro trading can resume with a stablecoin on, and it can easily be transferred to Polygon, from where you can have any exchange work with it. So that's kind of what we are looking at with Vitro, and I'm happy to have feedback on that. If people have, I've heard ideas tossed around that Vitro should be deprecated and just swap for Vitro, etc. Happy to listen to all those ideas and entertain them. But I feel like it's important to have this token around. It represents the DEX token, and we want to keep it, and we want to continue to make it thrive. So that's the story on that. Now, with wrapped Vitro listing, remember, we cannot list Vitro directly because of rebasing. So we're going to list a wrapped version of it called wrapped Vitro. So we are in a fairly advanced conversation with Tier 1 exchange. We are in Telegram. They are daily asking us for more information, and we are providing it. So that conversation is moving on quite well. So we've provided them information on our tokenomics, on liquidity, on the various allocations, on cliff and vesting schedules, and all of that. So ultimately, it is up to the exchange to make a decision, but we are doing all we can to ensure that we can have a wrapped Vitro listing as soon as possible. So that is the story on wrapped Vitro. And now let's go on and talk a little bit about Poet. Last week, I had said that we would enumerate the winners and start awarding the prizes for those who had got all the series of Poets, and that has happened. So we concluded, based on our research, that there were 46 winners who completed all downloads and acquired the Poets for that. So we're in the process of contacting them via email. So you'll see Alex Trujillo contact you. Please look out for that email. And each of them will receive 50 Vitro and 15 collector credits. Those 15 collector credits enable you to pick up one artwork right now, as soon as the store is live and here in the next few days. So congratulations to all the 46 winners. It's great that you were able to collect every one of the Poets from our downloads. So you should continue to do that, and we look forward to having further engagement contests like that. All right, now let's talk about Vortex. So last week I presented the information for you about the campaign we are doing to introduce a USDC on here, and I'm really excited about the campaign. We had to push it back just a few days. So here I want to tell you that the official date we are going to launch is next Wednesday, which is May 29th. And nothing else has changed about it. It's the same thing, where you're going to be able to buy Vortex NFTs for $10. Each NFT is also going to give you a collector credit valued at $10. So you are able to pick up some artworks also for those that are still standing after the booster collector credit holders have had a go at it. And the dates here are slightly changed. We basically are going to have our first weekly draw on May 31, and our epic draw will be on June 31. But other than that, the breakdown of common, rare, ultra, epic, etc. has not changed, and we're going to go through with that. So look for that next Wednesday. The contracts, etc., on that are being finalized, and it will go live. I don't know the exact time yet, but probably on Tuesday we'll be able to announce an exact time for when the giveaway starts. So this is there's always sort of a series of events that have to occur, right, for these things. In this case, we needed to make sure that USDC contracts, etc., are fully functional, that we have the bridge up, and this is the reason why we made a two-phased approach to the bridge, because it would take us a little longer to test and verify that the integrated bridge functionality with the DEX, which is essentially PancakeSwap modified, would work. That's going to take a little more time. So by having the standalone bridge page, we can get to Vortex without any further delays, and that's the goal we want. So that is coming up, and really excited about that. All right. Next up is products. So with Vitru Suite, we wanted to implement the block feature that I talked about a little bit last week. Let me check. I had asked the team to put it into production just before the session started, and looks like they have. So we can go see this. So what we did is we modified both our admin tools and the search to block those artworks that we suspected were fraudulent. Basically, it was created by folks holding collector credits that essentially went and created junk listings, junk consignments, in order to be able to collect those artworks themselves and essentially get extra Vitru for themselves. And we didn't want that. And so we implemented a block feature. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that to you here. Let me just hit refresh. All right, so here's our search, and the artists continue to add to consign here. So that's great. The numbers continue to grow up. So the way the block feature works is you go here, and at the very end, there is a card that says show additional assets, including those that may be of low quality or offensive content. So when you click on that, what you're going to see is your page is going to reload briefly, and you're going to start seeing these junk ones. So we are in the process of continuing to curate and get rid of them, but that's basically what you're going to see. So there's more of them, and you will see them appear here shortly, and you can show and hide them. So our goal is to continue to monitor, and as we find more of these issues, we will kind of bring them to the surface. So let me take a quick peek at the comments here and see if there's any comments about all these things here, and then I can continue with other things here. Yeah, so I see that there is an issue with today's poet. So I have alerted Alex. Let me see what the situation is there. So I think we'll get one created here ASAP and fix that issue. So yep, that is an issue indeed. All right, let's see. Are bridge actions considered transactions for rebasing? Yes, indeed. Every transaction on Explorer, it is the protocol level, right? So every transaction is considered for that. And Aris says now new projects can jump in on Vitruva using USDC. Absolutely, yeah, that's the plan. So we have a clean pathway to swap, and also to exit via Polygon. And yeah, so there's a fair bit of development going on in the world of crypto, and the conversations around SEC, etc. So this is good. Um, so the question is, can we bridge back from Vitruvio to Polygon right now? Yeah, you can do that without the UI, right on the Explorer. So you would go to basically the contract for Via Labs that is on Vitruvio Explorer, and you would do the same thing in reverse that I just did. Did I provide that contract address? I don't think I did. Let me just go look. One moment. Yeah, it's right there. So we can. All right, there's code there. So you can do the same thing. But again, like I said, we're going to have the UI up there. Looks like they haven't verified the contract yet. But so there isn't a UI, but you can only do it with code. I see that. So it is possible. You just need a UI for it. So we'll stand up that UI page that I talked about very quickly, and you'll be able to do that. And let's continue now. All right. So when will all the Poet emails winners be sent out by? I think Alex is sending them out already today, so they should be done over the weekend. Um, all right, and I understand that some folks had Poets spread across multiple accounts. So if you were in that scenario, then let just email operations@vitruvio.xyz, and Alex will respond back, and he'll look at your account and maybe add you to the eligible prize winners. As I said, it was getting to be too much to develop that feature to merge accounts, etc. So we can just do it manually. I doubt there's too many people in that scenario. So Arnold says, you said last week search was ready to go apart from a few bad actors. Why is it now being tested? It's not search that's being tested. It's the minting feature that's being tested to use collector credits. So search is live and working just fine, but we added the change to remove the bad actors from there and filter them out. And that filtering is not just at the search level. It goes all the way back to the store level. We don't want to enable them to mint anything. So we had to make all those changes. So yeah, if you look on the testnet explorer, so let's go there right now, you will see that there is a fair bit of testing going on around the use of the collector credits. So let me show you. Dun, dun, dun. So here we go. Issue license using Credits Studio. So this is the kind of transaction that occurs. It's actually a meta transaction because there's in total 10 things happening when you hit that mint button. In this case, you can see that the collector credits from the user's account are being burned. So these are all tokens burned, right? So each collector credit is $10, and the price of the Genesis artworks is $150. So as a result, 15 of those tokens are burnt. And let's go and look at all the other things that happen as a result of the minting. So as I said, it's a meta transaction. So there's a lot of things happening. So this is all one transaction. There's a ton of things happening here. After the tokens are burned, there is an on-chain event that's generated that shows that the collector credit was actually redeemed, by whom, for what amount, etc. And then this is what's new. Every other blockchain just issues an NFT and mints it, and that's done. So we have a licensing system. So we have on-chain licensing for complete provenance and tracking of who is a licensor and who is a licensee. And so you can see here a license was acquired. So who is the licensee? What is the ID of the license? How many licenses units they were purchased, etc. So all of that is there. And then finally, an actual token is minted. So this is a mint token. When you see an address from of 0, it means it's a new one. It came into being and it's transferred. And then finally, the full summary of what the license issued was. So what asset was being licensed, who licensed it, what is the ID, and then on-chain license. So a license instance is an on-chain license for this. So this is probably not that relevant to folks right now who are only used to the area, the domain of NFTs. But we are building for a future where there are assets of any kind, um, of course, creative assets that can be licensed by anybody in any volume. So we want it, for example, we want someone's entire photo, stock photo collection, for example, maybe it's 1 million photos or whatever, to be licensed, and that shouldn't be 1 million transaction. It should be one transaction with 1 million units in there with the price, etc. So licenses are a new thing that Vitruvio has introduced, and we haven't talked a lot about it. We haven't had a big conversation about it because we haven't yet reached the point where we have a licensable product. NFT is the obvious one, but we are talking about other types of use cases for artworks, like streaming, for example, which I'm going to talk about. So there, the licenses, etc., are much more important, and we want to make sure that everything is tracked on chain. I had an interesting Twitter exchange today where someone said, an artist said, "Hey Nick, I love that you want us to talk more about consignment instead of minting, but I like minting because it gives my artwork provenance, and it's there forever, and that's why I like to mint." And I had to point out to the artists that they had it backwards. Minting, in fact, does not give you any provenance. What minting does in the current state of NFTs is it creates an entry in a smart contract with a number. All your information about your artwork, the title, description, there's not any metadata, etc., but that's all off chain. So minting is in fact not giving you provenance, whereas consignment actually is giving you provenance, because what it does is it enables you to create an entry for your artwork on a blockchain, Vitruvio, and it has, in addition to all your basic information like title, description, etc., all the metadata about it. The entire, whatever you want to say about that artwork is on chain. And not only that, it is maintainable. So as it has exhibitions, awards, etc., that artwork, you can keep adding to it and changing to it forever. And as it's licensed, those licensees get tagged onto that asset also. So consignment is a better way for artists to track their provenance of their work. It's there as a historical record forever. And as that artwork has things happen to it, as it does in the real world, you update the blockchain for that. So it is a better system than minting ever was and ever will be. So, all right. So let's see if there are any other questions here. Oh, there are a few. So let's answer them. But let me let's see. So question is, how long after launch until we tackle the music industry? People use the word launch. I don't know what it means, because we've launched the blockchain. We have different product launches, etc., that occur. So I'm gonna guess that what we are talking about here is actually having the full-fledged sort of artwork transaction implementation in place. So I would say that because we have so many different licenses that license types that we are still working on, it's going to be a while before we get to the music industry. What I mean by that is we are just now talking about NFTs. We're going to now move into print, where we're going to do partnerships with print partners. We are moving into Remix, where we already have a lens post partner. We'll be showcasing that. And then, of course, we have Stream, which is something that I'm going to start talking about today. So we want to get all of those things solidified, but that doesn't mean that we won't start the conversation around music. We will, but it's going to be a little bit of a while, because we want to make sure that we've got a solid foundation for them. So let's see here. I'm looking for more questions. Yeah, I'm not tired of hearing the word launch. I think it's just so ambiguous, right? It's overloaded. I need to know what specifically people are talking about. Um, all right, so that is all of it on the Vitru suite. So as I understand it, we are now ready for final testing. So that's going to happen in the next few hours. We're going to deploy to mainnet. We're going to do a control test on mainnet. So Fleur and I are going to buy some artworks on mainnet. And we want to be very fair to all the booster holders and make sure that you get your shot. So we are not going to go out there and collect a whole bunch. We're just going to do a control test, 6 artworks, 3 each, and that works. And we are ready to rock and roll, and everyone can go at it and go. And as I mentioned, we will provide you a block number when the sale goes active. And at that block number, after that block number, you'll just be able to go in and start using up your collector credits. So on to the next topic, but first, a sip of chai. Which reminds me, it's great. Gus is in town again, and shortly after this presentation, I get to go and have a chai with him IRL. So that is great. Looking forward to that, Gus. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Vitru Stream. So I did Discord live yesterday and presented this, but I don't think the audience is the same. So maybe there is some overlap, but I want to go over that quickly. So our goal, our primary mission with Vitruvio is to make it possible for creators to have a sustainable income. So that's how we think about everything. We don't think in terms of technology. We think about our end customer, which is a creator, and we think about how can we continue to align the incentives for crypto investors and creators so that both can benefit, with a goal of creators having a sustainable income. Now, the architecture that we've developed specifically by essentially saying everything that exists in Web3 art today, it's a great start, but it's nowhere near what is needed for long-term success. So we started with first principles, and said, okay, how would you build this so it actually worked? And turns out that the way to do that is to not treat an artwork as a token, and have a single use sort of implementation of it as an NFT as the only way it can be monetized. Our approach is that an artwork is an asset. So on chain in Vitruvio and the blockchain level, we have an asset registry where you consign your asset, and then we have created an architecture where that asset can have any number of different licenses. NFT is just one type of license. It's one way to monetize. But we want to create license models where there is recurring and ongoing revenue. So a stream license is the answer to that. So with a stream license, what we are saying is that once you create an artwork, for the rest of your life, you can monetize it. It's that simple. And as you add more artworks, they continue to get monetized. And then when you aggregate all of that, you have a stable recurring income over time. So we've developed a basic revenue model for this that I'm going to share here today. And we have a year one goal. So anytime you do something like this, you have a goal initially, right? So we didn't want to have some outlandish, huge, crazy goal that was impossible to achieve, because first of all, this is an emergent market. The displays that are being developed, that people are buying to put in their homes, to put in lobbies of restaurants, hotels, airports, all of that, that's an emergent market. And we want to really be the blockchain and the organization that caters to that at scale. There's a number of organizations right now that provide sort of art streams on a very limited basis, but I subscribe to all of them as part of the market research for this. I have subscribed to all of them. I've been through the UI, I've taken screenshots, everything. And the UI leaves a lot to be desired. The user experience is not that great. But more importantly, the content is is very constrained. So one of the things we can do by way of having an asset registry and really potentially an infinite supply of art is to really have a catalog of art that really makes streaming viable at grand scale with millions of subscribers. But that can come later. In year one, we want to target 10,000 artists, 20 I made a typo there. I'm sorry. It should have 25,000 subscribers and 2.85 million in revenue. So that's kind of what we are targeting. And what I want to do is I want to walk you through our financial model, how we are thinking about it from a subscription standpoint, and how we are thinking about it from an artist income standpoint. So let's go and look at that. So here is my spreadsheet, and you can see the same spreadsheet by going to vitru.xyz/stream-revenue. You can hop on and follow along. All right. So let's start analyzing this model. So the first thing is that we have a curator fee. The foundational element of this, in addition to the artists, of course, are curators, right? So what we want to do is we want to rely on community curators. Who can be a curator? Anybody. Anybody can be a curator, and the market will decide if you're a good curator or a bad curator, right? So we have a fee of 10%. So 10% of the revenues that you're going to see here are essentially go to the person who took the time to curate together a playlist. Now, in your mind, if you want to think of a model without the revenue sharing part of it, because it's kind of not there yet, is Spotify. So if you think about people curating playlists, etc., on Spotify, etc., that's what we want. But in terms of the payment of the creator, Spotify does not do a good job of being fair. We want to be fair, and we want to make sure that artists are well paid. So curators is one fee. The next is an affiliate fee. So an affiliate could be anyone, someone who referred someone to the subscription service, or it could be a partner. So we intend to have partnerships with frame manufacturers, etc. And so there's an affiliate fee there. And then there's a platform fee. So the platform fee refers to a Vitruvio fee. In aggregate, that affiliate plus platform fee is 15%. And we designed it that way where that line between the affiliate and the platform is malleable. We did that because we have to negotiate different terms with different manufacturers. So you can think of 15% as a pool that is split between Vitruvio and a partner. And so that total becomes 25%. So those are the fees that are there for the whole service. And the income for the creators is 75%. All right. Now, let's see what that income, before we go to the income for artists, let's talk about crypto investors. So one of the things that the stream income is supposed to do is to provide a recurring income for crypto investors also. How do we do that? Well, the simplistic way we are thinking about it right now is for people to stake their Vitru coins. So we will allocate a portion of that fee that comes to the platform to operating capital, because this requires marketing, this requires development, this requires everything that any product requires, right? So a portion of that goes for operations, and the remaining of it is available as revenue share for crypto investors. And they get that by staking Vitru. So if you've staked it, you are eligible for a portion of that income. So that is available to any and all Vitru holders. They want to stake, they can earn a portion of that streaming revenue that comes in. And this is a long-term play. So we intend that this will continue to be there. Of course, the numbers are small in year one, but the idea is to get to millions of subscribers. And so we get to really have meaningful revenue share and recurring income for Vitru holders. All right, so now let's talk about subscribers. So as I said, our goal is 25,000 in the first year. That's the first year run rate. What that means is by the time we get to the end of the first year, we are on a trajectory to keep on growing with that run rate. Now, how does that work? Well, we want to have subscribers in 3 tiers, and this is fairly normal for any kind of subscription service where there are tiers. We haven't named the tiers yet because we didn't want to get caught up in marketing speak with this. Focus on the numbers. So there's a level 1, level 2, and level 3. The level 1 price for subscription is $4.99. Level 2 is $19.99, and level 3 is $49.99. Now, of course, we'll be doing more market research on this. We'll be doing more modeling on it, but you can expect that the price that we launch with will be approximately these numbers. They may not be precisely that. They might be adjusted a little bit. So if you look at our projection for how the subscribers are distributed here, so we expect that 80% of the subscribers will be at level 1, so at the lowest tier, $5 a month. And the highest tier will have approximately 5% of the subscribers. So now this doesn't take into effect things like churn. When you have a subscription model, you have subscribers drop off, new ones come on, and that's an ongoing part. And there are models for considering that. This also does not. This spreadsheet model you're seeing here focuses on revenue. It doesn't focus on expense, because if in expense, we would have to put in customer acquisition cost and marketing costs and other things like that. But we are focused on revenue only. All right. So based upon this monthly subscription and the number of subscribers, we have a target revenue every month. And then we split that up. We split that up into monthly curator fees, affiliate fees, platform fees, and creator income. Now, the way we structure the income for all the products we work on is everything is decentralized and smart contract driven. And the way we think of income is that any income due to anybody gets dropped into their vault. So all creators have their own vault, which is a smart contract, and it gets dropped in there, and the creator can come and claim it whenever they feel like it. But for safety and security, it stays in their smart contract vault. Therefore, it can't be hacked and stolen, because you need multiple wallets in order to be able to claim it. All right. So based upon this, we are looking at creator income on a monthly basis for the aggregate in the range of $74,000 all the way down to $46,000. So annually, that represents about a total revenue of $2.8 million. So that's where I had the goal on my slide. And so the aggregate creator income is going to be about $2.1 million. So for our 10,000 creators that we are targeting in year 1, we are targeting an income that goes directly into their pocket of $2.1 million. So now let's look at what happens individually in that scenario and how we are structuring the divide, the sort of categorization of artists in order to be able to figure out which tier someone belongs to. So the first thing to understand is that the artists and the artwork that you find is going to be available only at a certain tier. So for example, level 1 subscribers will see tier C artists. What that means is it's inverse, right? So the lower tier level is level 1 here, and they see artists that are the lower tier. How it's not the artists themselves, it's the artworks. So we are not going to be able to make subjective judgments about artists and artworks. The artists themselves are going to do it for us by setting prices. So what we are going to do is we are going to say that a tier C artwork is at this price threshold or below. A tier B1 is at this price threshold or below. So artists themselves will set their artworks at their prices. And then keep in mind that these playlists for streaming are being curated, right? So it doesn't matter if you're an artist that is a junior artist that's just coming on board and you set your artwork at, I don't know, $5,000 or something like that. That doesn't mean, first of all, anyone's going to pay for that, or B, any creator is going to take that seriously and say that, oh yeah, that is actually a sort of tier A artist. You know, they won't look at it that way. So it's up to the artists to be honest and to create artworks that are priced fairly, and based upon what the market will bear. So so let's say that you are a tier A artist. So what that means is that your artwork is primarily going to go to level 3 subscribers. That means at the higher price point. uh, and what we did was we kind of estimated what your curation rate is going to be based upon the tier artist, right? So we conjectured that the curation rate for tier A artists is going to be much higher than tier C artists. So you see here in this column that 90% of the artworks created by a tier A artist are going to be selected by a creator for a stream, whereas for a tier C artist, only maybe 20% of their artworks are being selected. So obviously, how many artworks you create is now going to be a factor. So that's what's here in this column B, artworks per year. So a tier A artist is likely going to take a month or a little more than a month per artwork, and we expect their productivity output to be around 10 artworks per year. On the other hand, if you go down to tier C, we expect that they'll be cranking out artworks much faster, and maybe 4 or 5 per month, and so they would have as many as 50 artworks per year. But the fact that they have a large volume of artworks doesn't mean that all of those are going to be selected, because the curation rate is lower. So so now you have an idea of sort of how we are going to approach the curation and the artworks. And I know there's a lot of detail in addition to this that's going to go in, and we'll share that as we develop that. But for right now, I just wanted to share the financial model. So based upon the productivity, based on the artworks they created and the curation rate, we have a certain number of artworks that get selected and become eligible for payment because they are being streamed. So based upon our subscription revenue and based upon the fees, we now have a monthly income target for all the artists that are in the mix here. So we calculate that, and then we divide that down, and we have an income for each artist, a monthly income for each artist. Now, these are small numbers, granted, but it's year one. We are greatly constraining the volume, etc., of things. So if you haven't sort of had a chance to work with a startup before, you should know that that's how startups operate. Like, it's uh, in terms of revenue, visually, you can think of a graph as a hockey stick. You start off with low numbers, and then you reach an inflection point where you've figured out product market fix, you've figured out who your customers are, you figured out how to market to them, and then you implement those things, and it takes off and becomes a hockey stick graph curve, and that's when you get into the millions and millions of dollars of revenue. So this here, the green cell, is important because for our test, our one first year experience test, what we want is to have a tier A artist have an annual income of $1,000. It's not huge. They probably doesn't move the needle for an artist of that caliber, but that's our goal. This is passive revenue. They've done nothing, right, other than have their artwork and click, I want a streaming license available. We at Vitruvio expect artists to never, and I repeat, never do any kind of marketing. All right. So this is something that artists are doing a lot of right now. They're constantly spending, I don't know, 85% of their time promoting. Well, that 85% of your time on Vitruvio is back. It's all you. You can use it to create, because we are building the infrastructure, the processes, and the mechanisms to market your artwork and distribute it. We want everyone else to be marketing for you, not you. So as an artist, your job is to create artworks, and that's kind of how we think about it. So this is passive income, and that's kind of how we are thinking about it. So this is kind of the year one sort of scenario. If you want to kind of project this out, please clone this spreadsheet, and you can see like I have a future tab here where I said, all right, what happens when we get to 2.5 million subscribers? What happens when we have 25,000 creators or maybe more? Well, then you can see that now the numbers are certainly moving the needle type numbers. You have an annual income of $45,000 $1,000 almost at tier A, and $4,491 at tier C. Now, these are achievable numbers, and this is in a lot of countries a very meaningful salary. And this is especially true for even indigenous artists, etc., who don't have nearly this level of income. So while this is happening, you have to note that investors are also profiting from this. So now the platform fee here combined with the affiliate fee is about 42 million dollars in this scenario. So that's income that we use for operations, and we use as passive income for crypto investors. So you can see where this might lead over time. I'm not promising that this is going to happen anytime soon. It's going to take a few years. We have to build up the market, but that hockey stick that hockey stick curve is going to happen, because everything suggests, everything in our research, everything that we are seeing in the market suggests that the world is ready for this. So we still don't have that exact product market fit. We will get there as soon as we actually have this shipping product, and we start looking for subscribers and start looking for partnerships with frame manufacturers, etc. But it's all there. And remember one thing, folks, we're not banking on one license type as our core revenue. This is why we've created the architecture. So we have NFT license. So we have sales from that are coming in from marketplaces. We have print revenue that will come in when we have print partners, etc. Everywhere there is going to be a fee that the platform gets for orchestrating all of this, and that fee goes to the creators and goes to the crypto investors. It's always divided up so that a rising tide will lift all boats. That's an open source philosophy, but it applies here really, really well. So this is the initial streaming revenue model, and I want to emphasize the word initial. This is how we are thinking about it. We are going to embark on building out our streaming product starting June 1st. So that allows us to sort of put our current thing behind us right now, where we have the NFT minting, the collector credits, all of that in play. And so we let that run its course, because there's going to be thousands of new artists who are going to come in. There's $1.5 million of collector credits out there. So there is a revenue for those artists, and we're going to let that play. We do have to add some features there. For example, we need to add a feature where creators can list multiple artworks and things like that. So we'll get there on those. But our implementation of streaming is critical to the success of this platform, because we expect that this is going to be a very, very big source of revenue. In addition to that, we have print, we have remix, and we want to introduce some other licenses too. But 4 licenses right now is our focus. We build upon that. We get all the products to market. We get them out of beta. We get a good number of artists using this. The word is not yet out on Vitruvio among most of the artist community, and it will get there. And once it does, I'm very confident, given what we've built, that artists will see that an artist focused platform, which has been built from the ground up to support them and to support their income, is something they absolutely need to focus on and support. So I also want to share, without naming names, that in the past few weeks, we've had some good inbound partnership connections, especially with the art world, and we'll be building upon them. I will be actually traveling to Miami in early June for some meetings with art organizations, and to solidify sort of bringing many artists to the fold here. I'm reluctant to share any names here because of the fact that there are some folks in our community who would like to sabotage those talks. So we don't want that anymore. So until deal's done and things are progressing, we'll continue to just tell you what's happening, but not reveal too many names. But anyway, so this is all very, very positive. There's lots of exciting things happening. And let me go back to my deck and wrap up here and see what's there. Oh yeah, the download. So I haven't uploaded the deck, but I'm told that the download is fixed. Yep, it is fixed. So please do go grab it now. Here's the QR code. We will continue to have prizes for continual acquisition of these poets. It is We are going to integrate poet with a lot of other things also. But for now, this is erroneous because this is from last week. It should say season 3E8, but episode 8. But the link is correct. Anyway, so thanks a lot for attending here today. I'm going to take some questions now. Zach, if you come on here again, we can talk about some of these questions and answer any discussion points that are there.
What's up?
All right. So let's see. You've got a couple starred.
Yep.
All right. So what constitutes low quality? One of the pieces is the photo of a handmade painting done by a family member in the same household. Who do I contact? Yes. So we expect that there will be some false positives. Please contact Fur. You can reach her on Discord. That's the easiest way to get a hold of her. If you're not on Discord, she's available on Twitter, etc. But I think the best thing to do, actually, having said that, is why don't we set up a channel on Dreamverse where people can go and talk, a group rather is what it's called. So, but since we don't expect too many folks for right now, please do contact her and you can get this issue resolved. All right, I've never had any Trust Wallet issue at all until now. It's saying node connection error and the network is now gone from my Trust Wallet. Was any RPC change at all? I'm concerned. I'm not aware of any RPC change at all. And I've been transacting here. I even transacted here live with using rpc.vitruvio.xyz. So I wonder, is it possible that you had something that was not rpc.vitruvio? Because I remember for a period of time it was an RPC2. Yeah, but we are just using rpc.vitruvio.xyz. So to my knowledge, there is no issue, and everything is working. So I would look at DNS as the culprit on this. So Ganesh Yoga asks, will the purchase artworks be visible on the NFT scope page? Thanks for asking this question. This is actually an important question. So as you purchase the artworks, you want to be able to view them somewhere. And we currently don't have a single point of access for that. So you are correct. On the Scope app, when this is launched, the Scope app will also have a new release with an NFT page where you will be able to view the NFTs you have acquired. Now, there is one challenge there. The challenge is that typically it's really simple in for example, MetaMask or something like that, to add a contract address for a marketplace, and then you can see all your purchases on the marketplace. But we don't have a single marketplace. We have, at what we would consider right now, I think there are about 1,000+ artists that are there. So we have 1,000+ marketplaces. What I mean by that is every one of them has a contract, and the artwork actually gets minted into their contract. So if you were to buy from 5 creators, you would have to add 5 different contracts into your MetaMask to be able to see those. And so that's not efficient and not practical at all. So we will create that page in Scope to allow that to happen. But I fully expect that someone in the community over time will create a really nice NFT viewer application that handles that really well. So the challenge is out to developers. If you want to do that, I'm sure people will be, you can have a free level and a premium level there and make some money. Will Stream also use QR codes so that passerbys can scan and make purchases easily? Bass, you're thinking just like the way I do. All right, so I'll just share sort of what the Stream product is going to look like. At each tier, you're going to have a limit to the number of devices you can stream to. and we'll provide a UI for you where you can choose the devices and you can choose the streams, the playlists that you want for each one. And for each one, you can choose the transition effects you want, the period of time where you want the artwork to be showed, also what on-screen information you want displayed, title, artist name, etc. How long do you want that to be displayed for? And yes, a QR code. So if you have your stream in a display that is in a public location, you would want to display the QR code because you can tag on there a markup. And anytime someone scans that QR code and buys, the artist makes money, but you also make money because you got a markup on there. So we definitely want to have that, but none of this. See, you have to remember that the experience here is a very personal one, right? We're putting up a display in your home, and one of the big mistakes a lot of sort of set-top manufacturers, etc., make is that they don't give you a choice of what you want on the UI, and we want to do that. So you can customize that experience. If you want only the artwork and nothing else, you got it. If you want the artwork and the title, but you only want the title to show up for 2 seconds and then go away, you got it. So we want to give you a bunch of checkboxes and say, yep, I want that, etc., and customize the experience. And so QR code is something that will be available as an experience, as an option. Not only will there be a QR code for purchases, but also QR code for augmented reality. So you want to be able to scan that, see a viewer, and see what new content is on there. So yeah, we'll be doing that. All right, let's see. So a good question. When is the Amazon stick? My Amazon stick arrived yesterday, but I did not realize that Nelio was out this past couple days. So he will be back next week, and I'll get him on board. So we are on track to clean up this month's roadmap. And actually, the team already did start working on the stream. I just want to have Nelio on this when we are ready to demo that. So I missed the stake part for stream. Will there be a separate stake or using the airdrop stake to get a rev share from stream? All right, folks. So this is really important to understand. I have these downloads where I communicate information, right? You have to understand that I'm communicating information in real time. So what I showed you was a model for the revenue for our sort of streaming product. That streaming product has to be developed. And as it's developed, a lot of the features and of how does the staking work, how does the rev share work, all of that have to be answered. So right now I have no answer for this, but it will be totally separate. I can tell you that for sure. But how? I don't know how that will be yet. That's something we have to develop. Legendary man. Boxers are brief. Definitely boxers.
Really? I'm a briefs man. Well, I'm a boxer briefs man.
Let's see.
I highlighted this one just because I really like it. Vitrify.
Vitrify. I like that.
Yeah, like I got to figure out how we can brand that because it looks like aesthetically pleasing when it's spelled out like that. So we need to figure out what that means. Maybe someone in the community can help us define it. But I always find that when you're in startups, jargon is your own branded jargon's good.
Yeah. So here's a ticket that needs to be addressed. 2795. Bender's been on my case to. Well, he hasn't. He's been really good. But it's been like there are some tickets that require my attention, so this is probably one of those. So Bender, let's get on the case on Monday on this one and get it resolved, please. Yeah. So is there an easy way to buy the stream subscription, of course, or a link to a central place showcasing the stream? Yeah, so there are infinite number of streams, right? So curators can create lots of different playlists, and you as a subscriber will be able to subscribe. So the stream, the Vitruvio stream product is a white label product. In other words, you'll be able to go to Vitruvio and do it, but we expect that if we have a partnership with a display vendor, that they'll do it, and it'll be passed through, right? You won't actually see Vitruvio branding there. You will see whatever the company that makes the frame branding is, and eventually when you have the feed and all that, there will be Vitruvio branding on it. So yes, there will be a central place, but it'll also be distributed, because we want to have partners who take this on. And really exciting, because we are the partner that I alluded to earlier. We have the potential to already have streaming displays in a number of public locations. So I'm really excited about that. Um, so Mr. Mark asked, what percent of the 10% do stakers get? So I actually feel like that is not a decision that should be sort of centrally made. It should be voted upon. So I think we'll do that. Now, having said that, I want to make sure that we provide the community with what the expense information is, because everyone will vote for I want 10%, right? But that leaves no money for actually building and supporting the service and marketing it. So we'll have some expense projections, and then based upon that, we have to make a good calculated decision on what the revenue projections might be, and then what the rev share should be. So anyway, I think we've gone through all the questions here. I'm excited to go and finish testing, because we are about to get on and finish that final round of testing. You can watch us on testnet. You can see the tests happen shortly. I don't know what time exactly it's going to be, but within the next couple of hours. I do know that in 45 minutes I'm sitting down with Gus to have a chai. So
really excited. Maybe I'll give you another mug.
Yeah. But yeah, after that we'll get going. And I just wanted to bring up here, because I kind of talked about this last week. So I am doing quite well in terms of my sketches and being ready for the Flip Artist product. So today I announced that I have completed. Let's see, I'm looking for the tweet. Here we go. So I've completed 46. I've completed 46 artworks. I have put out a call for 4. I asked everyone to fill in the blanks on that. I said, fill in the blanks. Art makes the world better by. And so I see there are some entries in the thread here. Some people have submitted. So I'll pick 4 of these and complete them. So if you want to go to this thread and submit your picture and complete the sentence, art makes the world better by, then you might be in batch 1. So there will be a batch 2. So just so you know, these sketches go into the Flip Artist game, and the game winners get to mint these as individual artworks, and they also become part of a bigger experience that I'm building for the future. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a professional artist. This is, just having some fun.
Better than I could do.
Sorry?
Better than I could do.
I appreciate that.
I'm terrible.
But I'll be working this weekend to bring that game live. I've been actually putting in a little bit of time every day on it, and I'm really excited because and I've been using my high school teen for testing the speed and all that. And as I mentioned, I think last time, she took the hard level and she solved it first try. So I'm like, okay, I'm giving too much time here. I got to reduce the amount of time that is available. So anyway, I think that's it. We have all of that happening here. So it's going to be a good weekend here, a good afternoon today, because we're going to finish that testing. And next week, we've got USDC trading. I'm excited about that. I'm presuming everyone will create a liquidity pair for the different tokens that we've got going on there. We'll certainly create one for Vitro. And who knows? There might be some new tokens introduced as a result of the stablecoin being available now. So exciting times. And I'm interested to see what our booster holders do with the artworks that are going to be listed. So one thing we saw is that, the artists are doing their part, but it does take time, right? Some of them are creating artworks just for this. So at present, there are some 500 artworks, but if you go look in the admin panel, which, well, I'm sorry, I said that. Everyone cannot do that. But when I look at the admin panel, I see that there's about 1,100 artists already signed up into Studio. That tells me that they're in the process of consigning their work, and we see more being added everywhere. So what's going to happen next week is that initially there will be a surge and people will pick up artworks, etc. But then it's going to be a game of catch up, because there are more collector credits right now than there are artworks. But I am very confident that the artists will jump in as they see this opportunity. But keep in mind, it takes time from the time someone signs in to understands what the requirements are, uploads the artwork, puts in all the metadata, etc. It's a new process for artists, and they're not used to it. So it's going to take I think people a day or two to consign their artwork, etc. So keep on it. You will see continually a feed of new artists come in. So that's really exciting. I see a few more questions here.
Can we sell for a higher price?
You can. That's the whole point of it.
Right.
So, but where? Well, we don't have a marketplace yet, so someone will have to create that. This is early days, folks. This is very early days. You're seeing everything come to life here on this. So, but what we need to do is to get to that point where people start taking notice and go, oh, I have a marketplace. I need to port it here and launch it, because there is a customer base, right? So we are getting there. It is not our intent to build every tool. We don't want to do that. That is the opposite of decentralized. We want to focus on some of these core tools, which is Vitru Suite, and everything else we let other organizations step in, build, and profit, and provide a service. So yeah, I see some other questions that have come in that I do want to answer. So let me just take a stab at those, and then we'll wrap up. Cool. So Ira asks, if credit cards are being used for Stream, is Vitru ever being used for it? So this is an important question because it talks about usability. So we are trying to get Web2 users onto the fold, and for that we need to reduce friction as much as possible. What that means is, when they are on a device, whether it's Google or Amazon or Apple TV or whatever, when they want to buy something, they just click and do their normal thing, right? So on the front end, we have credit cards, etc., being used for purchases. But remember, on the back end, artists are always paid in Vitru, right? So that Vitru is the core utility coin, and it will always be used for that. I look forward to a day when the crypto experience is simple enough where we can actually charge also in Vitru. But if you look at the screen here right now, you can see that everything is in US dollars. So that's another conscious decision we made. If you go to Foundation, if you go to Object, Exchange, etc., you will see that the artworks are priced in their native cryptocurrency. We deliberately said, no, we're not going to do that, because one of the things is that with the volatility of crypto, it puts artists at a disadvantage and makes it difficult for them to sell, because one day their artwork is worth $100, and then because the cryptocurrency is so volatile and it changed, the next day it's either worth $25 or it's worth, I don't know, $2,000. Either way, it's not good, because the artwork hasn't changed. The market valuation of the cryptocurrency has changed. So buyers are not inclined to value artwork the same as what the cryptocurrency is valued, right? The shift didn't occur in terms of the artwork's value. So by having this in a stable USD right now, and we might change that to USDC or something in the future, the idea is that people, when they pay, they know this. We know what the prevailing conversion rate will be for Vitru to USD, and so we apply that and we compensate the artists. So I'm sorry that's a long-winded answer, but it's important. So Phantom says, will we eventually build our own streaming device, or will we just use another company's? So initially our goal is to sort of use existing platforms and devices, etc. But as I expressed about 5 or 6 downloads ago, it is my goal to have sort of our own streaming device. But we wouldn't build it. We wouldn't go into the engineering for hardware, etc. We're not a hardware company. We would take an off-the-shelf sort of device and brand it. What we would do is the software. So the software on it would be ours, and therefore it would be our kind of streaming device. But you have to realize that, people are not just buying streaming devices every year, right? You choose one, you have it, and then like you're an Apple family, or you're a Google family, or an Amazon family, or whatever, right? You have that on your equipment. And so if you're going to do this, it's because it's going to give certain benefits that you won't be able to get with other devices. All right, I think we've wrapped up with most of the questions here. So thanks everyone. I appreciate your attending again. We've got some great things planned for you in the week, in the days ahead. Actually, not the week ahead, the days ahead. And I'm just looking forward to reporting back to you next week with all these results. But catch you soon online. Thanks for attending. Bye.